Hello there, you guys, and welcome to this rainy day. Today we're going to be looking at a beautiful piece by Beethoven. I'm so excited to show this to you. This is part of our Old Masters for Young Players series, and this is called Liebeslied by Beethoven. So for those of you on Patreon, there is a picture with lots of scribbles on it attached for you along with our post today. And for those of you on YouTube, you're watching this a little bit later, but this is linked for you in the description, at least the link to the imslp. You can download this as always. So we're going to divide this into two parts. The first half today, we're going to play until we get to measure or line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do the first 5-ish lines together where the fermata is in line 5. And the next time we'll take up the rest of this one. So just a reminder that this is supposed to be played with piano. And if you don't want to find a pianist, then let me find one for you and come out to the recital in December. I always do a recital in December. So you can come and play this, or you can just find a pianist in your neck of the woods and maybe contact your local church or university or something. But these are just so beautiful. It's more fun to play music together anyway. So let's give this one a try. Before we begin, there's 2 flats. There's a B flat, there's an E flat, and I'm gonna just play you the first part and then we'll do some details together. So this is so pretty. And that's where we'll stop. That's where we'll end. We'll pick up that part next time. So let's go back to the beginning. So for those of you on Patreon with my little notes there, you'll see brackets around some of the measures and groupings. And that's because there's these little musical thought bubbles that are happening. And it's hard to see it visually, but once you play it, you'll start to kind of notice that just because things are in a measure doesn't mean that that's necessarily how they're grouped. Sometimes the previous part of the sentence is in the measure before, or maybe it just kind of continues. So let me play you what I mean. I'm going to do the first line without any pointing out of those little thought bubbles, and we'll see what happens. This time I'm going to play it trying to bring those out more. Do you see how there's kind of more of a grouping? It's almost like now it makes more sense rather than before it was just kind of more flat sounding. So lastly, having to do with the phrasing and the little thought bubbles, is that rhythmically, the longest note of each of those measures is a dotted 8th note, which is still a short rhythm, but in comparison to the rhythms around it, it's the longest one, and it happens to be on beat 1. And so let's make sure that the beat 1s are actually the ones where we're kind of going towards. And often these little thought bubbles, they start with a pickup from either the previous measure or even the piece begins with a pickup. So the pickup is taking you to beat 1. So we don't want to have this happen where I lost sound between the notes. You want to sustain this sound or even maybe grow towards it. So that can be a little bit tricky. shift there, which we'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so the shift. Oh, actually, before we talk about shift, sorry. The tone, the quality and the character of the sound for this one. It says piano dolce. And also the time signature is in 2/4. 1, 2, andante, so not too fast. My perfect speed is andante. I love the andante tempo. So 1 and 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and. So if you kind of keep a sense of the beat, that's very important. And then the tone. So the contact point is the magical way to make your life so much easier when it comes to dynamics. So the fingerboard is a gentler sound, whereas the middle, or even closer to the bridge, it just gets brighter and stronger sounding. And you can certainly play quietly there, but it's really lovely to just hang out in this fingerboard-ish area. So you'll have to find where that is on your instrument. And I'm also tilting the bow so I just have very little hair. Rather than playing flat hair, I'm using the side of the hair. And also with these little thought bubbles, even though it's in the context of piano, they all incrementally rise in pitch, and so they're growing. And so it'd be nice to bring that out and do some swells, but it's just in the context of piano. So it's like you're just going up the stairs. Here you're on this level. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, dun. Now you're here. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, da. And now here. Da, da, da. And then there really is a crescendo there, even to an accent. Da 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 da, use more bow, and then lots of bow, da da, and then little bit of bow, and when you end, da 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 da, less bow, and towards the fingerboard to taper it off. So it's magical. Watch the difference versus. It's hard to taper when you stay on the same point, so swipe to the fingerboard if you can. So now the next part, let's look at line 3 and line 4. So line 3, we start on these 2 little 16th notes, but we still need to think about the tempo. So let's think 1, 2, E, and a. 1, 2, E, and and they have this kind of yearning to go forwards. There's this repetition of this idea. Right here. And then it gently comes down. So in line 4, I've put some little lines over those 2 eighth note slurred sections that we have. That way we don't just do, but we think about bringing out the beauty of the slur there. And then, because, whenever we slur things, generally the first note of the slur is the strongest one, and the other one's kind of will naturally taper unless you try to really sustain it. So that's kind of a natural effect of the bowing here, and we're just bringing it out. And it's also descending in pitch, and you can see that there's a diminuendo that's kind of going along with that. But there's a little swell, da 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 dee da dun dun da dun dun. When you do, try changing the contact point rather than staying on the same one. But isn't that magical? So the contact point can help you with that. And then we have, there we go. We've got this last little idea. And let's see if we can build and also do that little retard that goes along with it. Just use more bow, maybe towards the bridge. And just keep the arm going. And then next time, we're going to start with a little retake here. So it's just like the beginning. It's similar, but there's some little things we have to talk about for next time. So with that, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this class today. This was so fun to look at Beethoven with you, and like I was saying on the violin lesson, I think this is the first time that we've played anything by Beethoven. I can't remember us playing anything by Beethoven. So it's a special little moment, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope to see those of you on the Patreon at our violin and viola group classes every other Thursday evening, 7:30. Bring this, come work on it with us. And then at the end of the month, we've got our virtual studio circle. You could share this. We've also got a guest artist class for the month as well, so check out our guest artist class. That's why it's called Violin Viola Masterclass, is because every month I invite a special teacher to come and work with us just for you. So anyway, I will see you all there, and for those of you on YouTube, please check out Patreon. I know that some of you guys have been here for years with me, and I would really love to see you there. And see you in the classes and play music together. So please reach out, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.